right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. And are you guys ready for this crypto news today? I don't think you are. Skycoin surges 12%, and I wonder why. It's thanks to McAfee's latest ink. Yeah, you heard that right. John McAfee rocketed into the crypto world again, this time taken to his infamous Twitter page to post a video of him getting a Skycoin logo tattooed across his back. And this latest stunt comes just 5 days after McAfee met with the Skycoin team for the first time in the Malta blockchain conference. And you might be like, hey, Skycoin, wasn't that the coin where the employees kidnap the CEO and steal all his life savings and beat his wife and the CEO and then took all of his stuff? Yeah, that's Skycoin. That's exactly the Skycoin that I'm talking about. So during his attendance at the event, the King of Crypto tweeted to his 800,000 followers to declare his renowned love for the peer-to-peer hardware-based ecosystem and for his love for the kidnapping of the CEO. Oh my, don't worry about it, guys. It's not a problem. He praised Skycoin for having some of the best technology in the crypto space and also the best kidnappers in the crypto space. He was presented with a Skycoin Sky Miner during the conversation. So he's got himself a nice little Sky Miner there. I guess I'd like to have a Sky Miner. I don't know. It's pretty cool, I guess. So Skycoin peaked at 321 after rallying from its former price of 276 and is holding on to the gains as well, currently up 11% against BTC. So we got ourselves a little video here. Look at this little video, guys. We'll go ahead and skip just a little bit. McAfee in a little bit of pain, getting a Skycoin tattoo. Now, is that a real tattoo? I have no clue. But either way, this is the biggest sellout I've ever seen. But God, John McAfee, you're so cool, though. I just can't believe what an insane sellout it is. But you're still so cool, John McAfee. I don't know why. I mean, you do horrible things, but you're still hilarious. So yeah, Skycoin tattoo, totally. And yeah, no, that's a real thing. This Skycoin employees kidnapped the CEO and then basically tortured them and took all of his stuff. So yeah, so tied and beat up both Synth and his wife, like the employees. So Skycoin employees don't mess around. Maybe that's why John McAfee backed him. Maybe he didn't ask him about that at all. He was just met with him, and he's just like, oh, this is great technology. Hey, how about that one time when you guys kidnapped the CEO? And they're like, oh, we don't talk about that. That's okay, though. It's a pretty good project, other than the kidnapping. Next article. Mining giant hurries to deploy 90,000, you heard that correctly, 90,000 S9 Antminers ahead of the Bitcoin Cash hard fork. So ahead of the imminent Bitcoin Cash hard fork, mining giant bitmain, everybody knows this is my favorite company, has rushed to deploy around 90,000 Antminer S9 machines that totally suck to the region of Xinjiang, Chinese blockchain news source reports. As reported, the Bitcoin Cash network will hard fork on November 15th, and Bitmain is reported to be strategizing its role in the forthcoming computing power war. So they're going to make sure that Bitcoin Cash wins that fork. Of course they are. They're going to spread out them ant miners all over the place and just set them right to that Bitcoin Cash algorithm. Oh yeah, they are. They definitely are. So, local mining pool operator Yuhao told DeepChain that the mining titan has been in talks with almost all the local mining farms since late October and persuade them to host almost 90,000 of its S9 machines. So an unnamed source familiar with the matter has claimed that half of Bitmain's marketing staff have gone to Xinjiang to talk with local mining operators about deploying equipment, as DeepChain outlines the power glut in coal-rich regions such as Xinjiang and Inner Mongolia has been advantageous for firms such as Bitmain, as hydropower stations in southwest China have been unable to supply sufficient power to meet the energy-intensive needs. So Beijing-born Bitmain, which is a major holder of Bitcoin Cash, yeah, they got like 1 billion of them, is backing up Bitcoin Cash client Bitcoin ABC, which has spearheaded the forthcoming hard fork. ABC's proposed scalability upgrades have been starkly opposed by an opposing camp N chain led by the self-proclaimed Satoshi Nakamoto Craig S. Wright. So Wright is advocating for a BCH protocol known as Bitcoin SV, but so far major mining pools such as Bitcoin.com, Antpool, BTC Top via BTC have all backed Bitcoin ABC, as DeChain further reports. So basically, there's two opposing Bitcoin Cash teams, and let me just tell you who's going to win this one. Let me tell you who's going to win this one. I don't know, probably the team with the 90,000 S9 miners that they're moving out, and that's just 90,000 that they want to have people host, not the probably hundreds of thousands more that they already have up and running. So of course they're going to put that on the Bitcoin Cash, so that there's going to be really no fork, and that there's going to be no basically no hash power for the other chain. So good old bitmain coming to the rescue again for Bitcoin Cash. I mean, it's just for you and me. It's not for them. It's not that they have 1 billion Bitcoin Cash or anything like that. It's not for them, guys. They're entrepreneurs. They're philanthropists. You know what I mean? They're really just putting this on because they know that Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. Everybody knows it by now. Come on, guys. Of course it's the real Bitcoin. I mean, if you fork a coin, obviously that new fork is the real coin. Jeez, oh man. You guys. Venezuela to present petro to intergovernmental group OPEC as unit of account for oil. Okay, so this is going to work. Let me just say that before. Let me preface the article with MrSotko's quote, signed MrSotko at the bottom, quote, "This isn't going to work," end quote. Signed. Boop. MrSotko. Okay? Venezuela will present its state-backed cryptocurrency, the petro. It's so amazing. It's not only backed by oil, but it's backed by diamonds and coal or iron or whatever. It's backed by all kinds of things. So of course OPEC is going to want to back it for the unit account for oil, right? Because if it's backed by diamonds and everything else, then obviously that makes sense for oil, right? I mean, duh. So the petro as a unit account for crude oil trading to the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. In 2019, the country's oil company reports. So the PDVSA, oh my God, has cited its President Manuel Quevedo, who also holds the position of Venezuela's Minister of Oil and Mining. Speaking about the future presentation, we'll be presenting petro to OPEC in 2019 as the main digital currency backed by oil, even though they literally said in their white paper and stuff that it's not going to be backed by oil because that's ridiculous. Because if a country's wealth was backed by oil, one day oil's $50 a barrel, the next day it's $100 a barrel, the next day it's $20 a barrel. It's gonna wreck your economy super bad. So they're like, hey, let's put iron in it and diamonds in it and gold in it or something like that. We'll back it by a bunch of things, which makes no sense whatsoever. So of course OPEC is gonna back that, right? Because because OPEC is into diamonds and everything else, right? According to the VSA, Quevedo also added that petro will be offered as a unit of account for global crude oil trading, noting that all Venezuelan oil will be traded for petro. OPEC is a global intergovernmental organization made up of 15 nations, in case you haven't been living on planet Earth, and founded in 1960 in Baghdad to develop regulation and policies for the world's main oil exporters. Venezuela officially launched the sale of its widely discussed oil-backed cryptocurrency at the end of October, 11 months after the country's leader announced the national coin. Petro can now be purchased directly from its official website or from 6 local crypto exchanges authorized by the government. Authorized. All right, cool. I'm glad that I'm allowed to trade it. However, crypto wallets for trading the coin have reportedly been suspended by Google. So, you know what? I don't even need to continue reading the rest of the article. So they're gonna be like, hey, OPEC, do you want to trade this in petro? And they're gonna be like, no. Because basically they kind of have they're sort of contractually obligated, like OPEC nations, to trade their oil in US dollars. There's a theory that basically it's true, but nobody knows if it's the real reason, that Iraq was invaded by America because they switched their trading of US dollar to oil for euros to oil because euro was worth more, and they would essentially make more money doing that. And America didn't like that at all because our petrodollar recycling program. So we're going to be like, hey, they got weapons of mass destruction, which we never found. Look at all these weapons of mass destruction. We better go in there and take all those weapons of mass destruction away and your army away. And then maybe while we're at it, switch that oil trading back to US dollars. I don't know, just as a side thing. Just as a side thing. It's not a big deal. I mean, don't worry about it. It's just a small little thing. We'll get to that. I mean, like, we'll probably do that first, you know, just to knock it out of the way. You know what I mean? Like, just get it out of the way because it's such a small thing. Then we'll work on the bigger stuff, you know? So that's basically, in a nutshell, how it went. Don't mean to get all conspiracy on you, but it's true. Do new, and now you know. They need the little now you know logo going on. Anyway, next article. So this isn't really an article, but it's just a Reddit post, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So it says the Amazon website in 1995. This is what it means when they say crypto is like the internet in the 90s. We are still having to use public and private keys and be nervous while transacting, because sometimes I am. I mean, if I'm transmitting $1,000+ in crypto, I'm a little nervous sometimes. I mean, I know I'm doing it correctly, but at the same time, you're like, is it going to make it? Am I just going to get screwed? I don't know. Wait days together to download the full node and use an app like Augur. Have hope. We are still early. So this is Amazon in 1995. It's so horrible. So if you guys aren't watching currently, just click on and start watching, because I know a lot of you guys just listen to it like a podcast. But it says, welcome to Amazon.com books, with just the most basic text I've ever seen. And then Amazon.com with a road going through it with an A. It says Amazon.com, Earth's biggest bookstore. So in case you guys don't know, like you're like Generation Z or something like that, Amazon started off as a book website. And I remember when Amazon came out, and I had absolutely zero interest in it because I'm just not really much of a book reader, I guess. I mean, I hate to say that, but I just don't sit around all the time reading books. I've certainly read books I can read, but it just was never very interesting to me. It says 1 million titles, consistently low prices, and this is the most basic garbage text ever. Like a 5-year-old made this website. But this is how websites looked in the 90s. This is how they all looked. Like, none of them had like cool pictures. None of them had like graphics. None of them had like just whatever we see today. It did not have. If you explore just one thing, make it our personal notification service. We think it's very cool. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Exactly. So it's just so poorly made that nobody thought out websites like they do today. In that, like, if one person says, I don't know what that means, personal notification service, obviously that's like sign up to the email list or something like that. Who knows? But again, if you don't know what it means, that means a lot of people don't know what it means, and that means you've just failed. You've essentially failed at marketing. If not everybody knows exactly what you're talking about when you're marketing something, it's wrong, and it's not working. And that says Spotlight, August 16th. These are the books we love, offered at Amazon.com. Low prices. The Spotlight moves every day, so please come often. 1 million titles. So it's just like you're supposed to click on these links, and it just says Spotlight. These are the books we love. So like you're forced to click on the link to even see what they're even talking about in the first place. So bad. But then Amazon is like, hey, why don't we just sell like everything? I mean, like, we got books, right? And everyone's like, yeah, we got books. Like, what if we just, like, get everything? And they're like, what do you mean by everything? Like, literally anything. Like, you want paper plates? Amazon.com. You want diapers? Amazon.com. Computer stuff? Amazon.com. You want some tissues? Amazon.com. You want some lipstick? Amazon.com. I think you were expecting me to say something different in there. I don't know. Whatever. Everything. So this is kind of crypto in the 90s. Like, crypto today is like the internet in the 90s. Like right now, like what do you use crypto for? Like, you can send a transaction, you can mine it, and like that's basically it. You probably don't use like dApps. You probably don't use a lot of things that crypto has to offer at the moment, which is honestly not that much. So we're in a very low tech period. But eventually we'll look back on crypto and be like, oh man, look at those old wallets. Oh my God, they're so bad and confusing, and nobody knows anything. Like how would you even use this thing? It's like VHS tapes today, or cassettes, and kids look at them and they're like, what is this? Like, it's a movie. Like, there's movies on this. Like, what? How do I use it? I don't have a DVD player. Like, I just download movies to Netflix, or I just straight up stream it to my TV. Like, why would I even need to pop this in? So it's gonna be exactly like that. Like, you know, a generation from now, 10 years, 20 years from now, like a 16-year-old kid or something like that is gonna take a look at a Bitcoin wallet from 2010 or even today and be like, what is this? Like, I have to put in a private key and a public key. Like, I just want to send it, you know. And it's gonna be so much easier, so much different, that we're just gonna be unable to even recognize it from that period of time. That just like, why didn't we think of this? In the same way that Amazon was like, why didn't we just sell everything from the start? Why were we a bookstore? That makes no sense. Like, why would we just sell everything? And like today, that's so obvious, but back in the day, it just was a hard thing to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and as usual, I'll see you guys next time.